Welcome back to Bleav in Colts. I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is my guy, Jerraud Powers. And Jerraud, we had to end the last one quickly because it was already going really long. Now we're going to bring our top 10. It was difficult. I think it was harder for, honestly, to rank the top 10 than it was anything else.
No, it is. It is. Definitely is. I'm kind of changing a couple things around as we speak.
All right. Well, before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that our partners at Bet Online continue to be the number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, sports developments, including Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. With training camp around the corner, Bet Online has opened up odds for team wins, division futures, and of course, the Super Bowl. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. All right, man. Jerraud, I'm going to let you open up as
All
we
right.
get started.
At 10, my 10, Denver Broncos. The reason I have the Denver Broncos at 10, obviously, Russell Wilson. They're expecting him to come in and have some Peyton Manning magic. You got a good defense. You got some weapons on offense. It's just a matter if you got a quarterback that can really win you those big games, and that's why they brought Russell Wilson in here. Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, I think, are poised for a good breakout year. Some young talent over there, some good playmakers over there. I think that Russ will do what they expect him to do. Think it's definitely going to be tough, but I mean, he's up for it. Been in some tough divisions before. This is not new to him. But I think Denver is poised to have a big year this year.
At number 10, I got the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Look, it's hard to count out back-to-back MVP player. Okay,
Yep.
just straight up, Aaron Rodgers is the man currently right now in the NFL. But Green Bay, you did you weren't able to keep his number one target, his guy. All right, and that's a problem. Um, if anyone can do it without Devontae Adams on the team, it is Aaron Rodgers. So
Yep.
I'm not counting this team out at all. I think that they have a solid running game. Their defense is lights out. Yeah. So at number 10, that's where I got the Green Bay.
So I was about to put Green Bay at 10, and I didn't because I kind of thought it was disrespectful a little bit for Aaron Rodgers not to be a little bit past 10. So I put him at 9. Um, we're talking about a guy that, like you said, lost his top receiver. Who knows what's the plan? Who knows, who's gonna emerge? But one thing we do know is Aaron Rodgers can beat anybody as long as he's on the field. And as much as we say that, he's lost some talent, he's never really had the best of the best talent anyway. So maybe they got some young guys that they saw some things in that they Bleav in that we might just not know about. I'm not happy with the Devontae Adams situation, letting him walk. I wouldn't have let him walk by any means when we're talking about a guy with a quarterback that's had the chemistry and the success that those two have had. But I put them at 9 because I mean, who knows if Aaron Rodgers has another MVP year? That means that they are winning, and we expect him to have another MVP year. So if that's the case, in January football, normally, we're prime time watching the Packers play a big game, and I expect the same thing this year.
At number 9, I got the Baltimore Ravens. Look, I would have the Ravens higher on this list had there not been so many questions on what is the entire team going to look like coming back from injury. Uh,
The entire
the
team.
entire team, all right, loaded with talent. Now they did get rid of Marquise Brown. They he's no longer on the team no more. So that's doubling down on that whole run first option with the running game. But I mean, they've got 15 running backs coming back from injury, so they one or two or three of them should be pretty effective to go with Lamar Jackson. Um, Secondary again, you got two Pro Bowl / All Pro defensive backs coming back from injury.
Yep.
that's a situation. Uh, if they come back anywhere near close to form, this is a top 10 team. They could be a top 5 team if everybody comes back. But I don't. It's hard to say that everybody is going to come back to form when there's that many people was on the injury list last year.
Yeah, that was and it seems like every year they get hit hard with the injury bug, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
offense or defense. But at 8, I had the Baltimore Ravens as well at 8. I know you had him at 9. I had him at 8. But I mean, Lamar Jackson, we know he's about to get his money, and like you said, talent wise, Baltimore has it from top to bottom. I mean, the guys that they get to fit their systems, I don't think they miss that often. I mean, they do a good job on their the personnel department. Does a great job in just getting guys that fits that Baltimore culture. I mean, when they put on that helmet, it just looks like they fit that system well. But I have Baltimore there because Lamar Jackson, a lot of question marks, a lot of people doubting him. You got the Bernard Pollard situation that just happened recently, where everybody's saying he can't throw, he can't do this, and he can't do that. And we're talking about an MVP before the age of 25 at that. And I think he's going to come back and show everybody again because he got hurt towards the end of last year as well. I think he's going to come back and show everybody again why he's who he say he is, and that means he is that guy. So I expect Lamar to have a big year, and don't be surprised if he's up for an MVP as well.
At number 8, I have another quarterback that is, going to be vying for that MVP situation. And he didn't start off last year very well at all. That's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm.
Now, I know a lot of people might think that I have the Chiefs kind of low at number 8. But again, I got question marks on the defense. Uh, he's missing Tyreek Hill. There's question marks around there. I get that they went out and they've added some pieces, but man, um, that division is tough.
Mm-hmm. Very.
That division is incredibly tough, and I got them last in the division. Wow. Oh, they've been kings of that division for so long, and now I have them last. But let's be fair. Last in that division would be first in most other divisions in the NFL. Okay,
True.
so I'm going to keep it real on that aspect. I still think the Chiefs um, are they're still making the playoffs. They're still a top 10 team in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce.
Right.
Chris on the D line. Chris is still that dude. So
Right.
I got the Chiefs over there at number 8.
At number 7, I have America.
Thank you for watching Jerraud Powers and I here on Bleav in Colts, part of the Bleav Podcast Network. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell so that you're notified next time we upload a video or go live. And don't forget, you can hit that little red share button, help us out a lot with exposure and getting our stuff out to more fans. Now, let's get back to the video.
America's favorite team. If America still think that, I think if you do a poll, it might be different now. But I have the Cowboys at 7. Off of last year, you look at the defense, like you said, Parsons, Diggs. I mean, you got Dak coming back. You got Zeke supposed to, bounce back and be better than, what he has been since he's gotten paid. But one thing I will say about Down, they got talent, man. CD Lamb and those boys, they got talent. It's just a matter of those guys putting together for an entire season. I think the Cowboys is, again, like every year, in position or has the roster to do what, every team hopes to do at the beginning of the year, and that's start off fast and put themselves in position to succeed in the playoffs and get to a Super Bowl. But I have them at 7, even though I do not like the Cowboys. I do have them at 7.
Yeah, that's a 9 spacing difference right there between the Cowboys and with what where you placed them and I placed them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still not the biggest spacing. Uh, and you know it because I haven't named them off yet. You've been sitting there. I can see your eyes. At number 7, I got the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
All right. Look, Broncos are kind of a scary team. They got a defense. They've got an incredible defense over there. Russell Wilson. I have questions about Russell Wilson right now. Mainly, he also has had this problem of second half year collapses, right? The last couple years, starts off the year, week 1, the first 6, 7, 8 weeks, he's leading everything in MVP votes. You know, he is the guy, and then collapses the second half of the year. And I'm like, Russell, what's going on? Now, last year, he had a thumb problem. I get that.
Yeah.
But he had an excuse for the year before as well, right? So that's a question mark. Now, it could have been the team, you know, or he just wasn't happy and had issues with, you know, we already discussed that earlier on last pod. But they've got some good weapons at wide receiver over in Denver. I don't think they have a top 10 wide receiver, but I think they got 3 like wide receivers that are, you know, really good. Yeah, they got really good depth at receiver over there. Okay.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's there, and that's why I've got them sitting at number 7.
At number 6, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Mixon, Jamar Chase, Higgins. I mean, all those. I mean, they're just loaded at talent, man. Especially at the skill positions. Their defense has always been competitive. Has always been, you know, average to even above average. And you know, they just the only thing that they're missing is offensive line as a whole. This offseason, you hope that would be one of the main things that's fixed. Obviously, we saw Joe Burrow take a beating in the playoffs, but this team kind of emerged out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting the Bengals to do what they did last year, and the way that they ended, man, it just looked scary going forward. Man, all those guys are so young. They're talented. They're not scared of anybody, and Joe Burrow is in position to try to stamp his name as a top 5 quarterback in this league, and you better believe that he has a chip on his shoulder that he's gonna try to do that. He's in the media. He talked trash about the Ravens. He talked trash about the Browns. Like, he's just one of those quarterbacks that's gonna tell you how it is. He don't really care about how anybody feels, and I love that mentality because in the AFC North, I mean, that's just how it is, man. I mean, you look at Baltimore, you look at the Steelers, you look at the Browns. It's a physical brand of football, and you need confident players to play in that division. And I think that Joe Burrow and the guys that they got over there in those leadership positions on that team do a good job in doing that. I think they're going to be very good this year.
At number 6, I almost said San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers. Again, very much like the Broncos. Isn't that weird? I got the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers back to back to back. Okay. Again, a team that's just well built all the way around. The only thing holding them back is I don't know. Look, yes, is Justin Herbert a great quarterback? Absolutely. But as good as he's been, this team still has not made the playoffs with Justin Herbert quarterback. Otherwise, I'd rank them higher. Okay. I like the Chargers. I like where they're sitting. I think 6 is a very fair position. They think they got help with Randall Gregory to go opposite Chubb at the pass rush, but how much help is it when both these guys have problems staying on the field because of health? Okay. Yeah. That's the big issue I have. Is if somebody gets hurt, what happens then? But yep, number 6.
Yeah, and at 5, I have the Chargers. Same reason, man. Justin Herbert, big time arm, big time talent, got talent around you. Defense got talent. Just rewind, hear what my man just said, you know, about the Chargers going forward. They're prime. They're in perfect prime position to kind of establish themselves going forward. So that's why I have them at 5. It's just a lot of talent over there. And like you said, Justin Herbert, he hadn't made the playoffs yet, but, you know, just watching him on film, it's just like, man, if y'all just put it together, this could be the team. I mean, you got a guy that nobody thought that he was going to be like this. We knew he was going to, be good, don't get me wrong, but he just jumped on the scene making throws. He's the first guy that I've seen make certain throws to where I'm like, oh, that looked better than Pat Mahomes. Oh, that looked better than, some of Aaron Rodgers' deep throws, some of the accuracies and things like that. So I'm really, really big on the Chargers this year. That's why I have them at 5.
At number 5, I have a player that it hurts me that year after year after year after year, I have to put him and his team in the top 5 of any list of mine, and that's Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, obviously, the reason why I say that is because I'm a Colts fan, but the Bucks are still a very good team. They have nastiness all the way around that team on defense. That's the way I like to look at this defense. It's a nasty. They play nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you absolutely have to respect that in the NFL. And then, of course, Tom Brady is going to lead this offense no matter who's on the team, whether or not Gronk retires or not. He's going to lead this team to plenty of victories and look for them to make, again, noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, and at 4, I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs at 4. Might be a little high. Might be a little high with what they lost. You lost the Badger on defense. You lost your main deep threat weapon in Tyreek Hill. I think the Chiefs is just going to look different. And the reason why I have them high is if they look different like how I think they're going to look, I still think they're going to be tough to deal with, man. I think offensively they still have weapons. They still have, MVP Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl winning MVP Pat Mahomes. They still have Travis Kelce. So they have pieces in place. It's just a matter of them, I guess, changing their image a little bit. They might look a little different. You might not see the wild plays like you saw from Tyreek Hill, but you might see more of a stable offense going forward. Because sometimes when you have all those weapons, it's hard to, I guess, get the ball to certain, everybody got to get their touches and do things like that, and it make you have to look a certain way. Now it's going to be more so of, I think, your traditional style, and you're going to see Andy Reid and oh my gosh, I'm going blank dead today with the names, but the offensive coordinator, Bleav, however you say his name,
Eric Bieniemy.
There we go. Eric, I think you're going to see those guys really come up with a plan to make you might see an old school Philly Eagles type look when Andy Reid was there and when he had all those weapons with Donovan McNabb and those guys. So I still think the Chiefs are going to be good.
At number 4, I have the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's high, I think.
I know you think that. But look, you talked about how Joe Burrow was able to make it all the way to Super Bowl with no offensive line. Dude took 11 sacks in that game against the Titans and still beat them.
Yeah.
11 sacks. And I think they did enough to fix that offensive line. They went out and just poured into it this offseason. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's a scary team. Defense is better than what most people think they are. The defense did a lockdown job in the playoffs, as compared to what they did during the regular season.
Yep.
I think this Bengals team this Bengals team. If they're not the best offense in the NFL, they are very close. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's where I got them at, sitting at number 4.
At number 3, I have Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. New coach, obviously, but not a new face. You got Todd Bowles now leading charge. Bruce Arians is still in the building, even though he's in a front office role or some type of front office role now. So, I mean, you still got everybody in the building that's been in the building. But like you said, I mean, you lose Gronk, don't get me wrong, but you still got your core guys. I mean, you still got your core on defense. You got your core on offense. And like you said, Tom Brady. I mean, at one point, everybody was trying to doubt the man when he was deciding to come back, not come back, leaving New England, not leaving New England. Everybody was doubting if he can still do it. Can he throw? Can he do this? And he's just getting better. I still haven't seen the drop off like many people think. He can still throw the deep ball well, and I just think from a systematic standpoint, man, they're just prompt. They're just, I mean, one of those teams to where you're just going to have to deal with. You know, they're going to be in it at the end of the year. You just know they're going to be there. It's just a matter if they can stay healthy or not. And if they stay healthy, they're going to be fine this year.
Number 3, I got the Rams. All right. Come on. Super Bowl champion Rams. I picked them to be the Super Bowl as soon as Matt Stafford got traded. I was like, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win a Super Bowl next year. The Rams are still that team. Okay, they're missing 2 players off that team, and one of them is in Buffalo, and the other one is a current free agent wide receiver. But really, their core, they were just extra additions that came to the team last year. During the season. So their core team is still together. They are still a very dangerous defense, offense, just well built, well rounded all the way around. Good coaching staff. Man, it's tough for me. I really like the Rams. I would have had them number 2, but I needed to put someone there that would get people talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so at number 2 for me is the Buffalo Bills. Some of the same. Well, you haven't even mentioned those guys yet, but number 2 for me is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, my pick for MVP this year. Weapons all over the field. Great defense with Leslie Frazier as the DC there. Former coach for our Colt fans that's listening. Leslie Frazier is a Colt through and through. Yeah, Buffalo Bills. I mean, the guys have just been knocking at the door the last few years. Has some great playoff games to where they just came up short. I think they get over the hump this year, man. I think they got their core pieces, intact still. I think they got a good coach. I think they got a good defense. They got a solid special teams. I think Josh Allen takes a step forward this year and getting those guys over the hump and crowning themselves and doing what they do. So I have the Bills at 2.
Wow, that's actually interesting. Which I will respect because it's obvious who you got left. Number 2, yeah. Go ahead, fight me. I don't care. I got the Raiders sitting at number 2. All right. Go ahead, use the comment sections, retweet this, whatever you want to do. And no, this is not for shock value. I honestly believe it. Look, this offense is stupid good. It is unbelievable. This is a team. Remember, this is a team where the wide receiver passes away in a car accident. The head coach is terminated, and there was so much controversy all the way around this team, and they still made the playoffs. And they didn't quit. They went out and upgraded, in my opinion, all the way across the board. They went and got maybe the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams. Now you got Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller to throw to. Are you kidding me? That's stupid good. Josh Jacobs, great running back. Great running back. I think he'll do even better because the defenses are going to have to focus on the passing game. So, they're going to be up front. Defensively, I think they really did do some stuff over there. Okay, yes, they lost Yannick Ngakoue, but in doing so, they helped their secondary out a little bit with Rock Ya-Sin, who, in my opinion, was the best corner on the Colts last year, play-wise. I'm not saying, overall he's been better than, certain other players like Kenny Moore, but I'm saying last year he was the most consistent cornerback on the team, in my opinion. And then they went and got Chandler Jones to go opposite of Max Crosby. And I see this offense looking very similar to that early 2000s Colts. And I'm not saying Carr is Peyton Manning or Devontae is, just built similar, right?
Mhm.
High octane offense, bookend pass rushers. Okay, that's how I see this team built. I think they're an incredible team. I think that they're going to turn a lot of heads this year.
Gotcha. Well, my number one obviously is the Rams, defending Super Bowl champs. Core still intact. Yeah, you lost uh, freaking Von Miller, but you get dang Aaron Donald deciding he wants to come back and play, and you definitely happy about that. Jalen Ramsey, I mean, got Cooper Cup, arguably just like Devontae Adams, arguably best receiver in
Mm-hmm.
football. And Matt Stafford. Then Sean McVay. These guys are going to try to run it back. They know this is their window. They're not trying to play for next year or the year after that. They know right now is their time, and they're going to try to ride this thing out as long as they can. And that's why I have them sitting at one, holding the throne.
I have the Buffalo Bills sitting at number one. The Bills, I think, is they have an MVP guy, sitting at quarterback. He hasn't got MVP yet, but he's in the running. Everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this guy has just gotten better and better and better year after year after year since he's been in the NFL. He's got plenty of weapons out there to throw to. This was the number one defense in football last year. Okay, um, and and they added Von Miller, right? And they they addressed a situation in the draft that this team needed. Both their top two needs were addressed in the draft, especially at running back. The running game was what was holding this team back, in my opinion. And if they continue and focus on that and put a little bit more effort over there at the rushing the football, the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, will be the toughest team in the NFL to face.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Either way, really appreciate your list, Jerraud. It was very impressive. I understand why you put the teams that you put where you did. I think that this was a very fun. First time I've ever done this in the 7 years that I've been covering the Indianapolis Colts. Uh, guys, please, whether you're listening to this on audio or watching this on YouTube, hit the like, let us know, share this, let us know your thoughts on our top 10 list. Any closing thoughts, Jerraud?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right. Well, then I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Jerraud Powers for Bleav in Colts, brought to you by Bet Online. And as usual, go Colts.
Go Colts.